So, aloha. I have just deleted my Twitter account because of what's happened with Alex Jones and the banning of Infowars, and also the fact that Jack Dorsey is allowing people who are quite clearly racist, not even just racist and anti-white, which I'm not really bothered about, but actually calling for the genocide of white people and still allowing their Twitter accounts to continue on Twitter. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting, and he's got Hamas and all sorts, but yet he is actually he's more concerned about Infowars and rather than the people that are actually either advocating violence and because of an ideology or a lot of socialists advocate violence against other white people who think it's acceptable. And that Jack Dorsey's allowing these people who are calling for a genocide against white people to continue their Twitter accounts. I mean, he must be breaking laws there right away. And I'm absolutely disgusted. But this is not just the only thing from Silicon Valley. Hi guys, how you doing? Hi Hank. And the this is not the only thing from Silicon Valley that's happened to me. What also happened was I had 6 LinkedIn profiles. Now, it doesn't say on LinkedIn unless you read the contracts, which the contract was never put in front of me that I couldn't have more than one LinkedIn profile. I've got several businesses in the process of starting up or have already been set up, and I was in correspondence with other people on LinkedIn. All of a sudden, LinkedIn suddenly deletes and stops all my LinkedIn profiles. I asked them to actually migrate it into one of my profiles, but I still had ongoing correspondence. That's like the National Mail or the Royal Mail here in the UK saying, "Oh, I'm not delivering your mail anymore." Well, it's not your mail. I was having correspondence, and not only that, LinkedIn has now stolen all my contacts and not allowed me to continue my conversations, that are business conversations that I was actually having through LinkedIn. And I had spent years developing my LinkedIn profile. So, I mean, there was a number of things. And also, I don't have any rights. So, they're allowed to actually delete my LinkedIn profiles without a buyer leave from me. I mean, I spent years developing these profiles, spending time getting them all sorted out on LinkedIn, getting references and all that. All of a sudden, overnight, LinkedIn, and it was funny how it was after the Hillary Clinton actually lost, because I had actually had these profiles for a number of years. So it's not as if these profiles were all of a sudden put up. They were up for years, and they had plenty of opportunity to actually take them down, and they didn't take them down for years and years. So I had ongoing correspondence because I've got different businesses that I'm involved in. And they didn't give me an opportunity to migrate it across to one of the main one, or they didn't really give me any opportunities. And I then find out that I've got no rights. So basically, they can just come in. I, as an individual, have no rights to actually, in America, to actually combat the fact that they've just deleted and interfered with my mail. So that would be like somebody interfering with a mail that you've actually had from people like the Royal Mail now. So they should have the same legal requirements that if people are mailing me as a business through my platform, through their platform, they should actually make sure that they have some legal protection because it's not their mail. And also I updated my contacts thinking obviously this was a platform where I would have a lifelong relationship on. Not to think that somehow some wee diddy in Silicon Valley was all of a sudden going to disconnect me on my actual profiles. And it's also Alex Jones was also deleted in his LinkedIn profiles were deleted. So they've already, so whatever they're doing, they're all talking to one another. I mean they sound like a bunch of communists out in Silicon Valley. It's absolutely disgusting. So all my 6 LinkedIn profiles, I never use LinkedIn again. I would advocate that you never use it again as well. But what they're trying to do is silence. They're keeping Hamas. I mean, that Diddy Jack Dorsey, the wee geeky twat, has got like Hamas and people that actually advocate violence, and they've all got their Twitter profiles all kept, and they're all perfectly able to actually keep these. Yet people who are conservative, who maybe have been against Hillary and their globalist mentality, and all these guys in Silicon Valley are all probably globalists as well. They must have been really butthurt when Donald Trump got in. And that's why they're trying to prevent actually fair usage on the platforms. Now we all know, so we just stop using them, stop using Twitter. We'll try and set up alternatives as well. I've just been repeatedly banned on my my Facebook profiles. I mean, Zuckerberg, I watched Social Network, which was very disturbing for me, watching Social Network. And Zuckerberg being accused of actually stealing the idea. I mean, if those gentlemen had actually come up with the idea, had employed Zuckerberg to actually do that, implement the idea and program the idea, that's just theft. That's just like Zuckerberg coming in and actually stealing the television. So, I mean, so I'll be looking for another social media platform and let Facebook go like Bebo and MySpace. I mean, obviously, that'll go right down the stank as well. So we'll be actively looking for another Facebook or a social media, a social networking site, and obviously another business networking site. Whether or not I've got to set them up myself, that's not beyond the realms of possibility, that will embrace freedom and the ability for individuals not to be harassed because of their political ideology or political meanings. That's just fascism. When you start to say that your ideology is no longer, or your thoughts is no longer allowed, that means you're a fascist. So we've got fascists in Silicon Valley who are now preventing people who they don't agree with. And it's just absolutely disgusting. I mean, let me just read out the list. So, Facebook, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Pinterest, LinkedIn, MailChimp, and Vimeo, Vimeo, had all deleted Alex Jones's Infowars, which I'm just going to stop using them all. So I'm going to put a ban on them, a personal ban. I would actually like to see them banned in the UK. I think we should actually start banning companies who are now discriminating. I mean, Jack Dorsey's disgusting Twitter is now must be breaching rules when people who are advocating white genocide are allowed to continue their Twitter accounts. I mean, it's been well documented that Jack Dorsey is allowing that. He must be a fucking scumbag. People who are allowing that, neo-communists who are advocating the actual white genocide against they're white as well, so it's a reverse racism. Being allowed to keep their Twitter accounts. Hamas has been allowed to keep their Twitter account. Obviously, another organisation that wants to kill people who are not Muslim as well. So. And obviously, these guys are all globalists. These guys are in Silicon Valley are all part of the globalist cabal, and we are actually seeing that what's happening in the EU. The guys like Sargon, Carl Benjamin, Sargon Avakad, and Count Dankula, the great guys that they are now doing interviews in the EU, in the heart of the scumbaggery place, the horrible place, the undemocratic place where thousands of civil servants are not having to pay tax, only paying 15% tax, and then complaining about everybody else not paying enough tax to pay their salaries and pay their wages, while they make your life even harder. So they've just passed Article 13, which is now to prevent people actually being able to do copyright and do things on the internet to copy other people's work, or unless they've paid some sort of commission to the person that they're using their work. And it's just a way to prevent freedom of speech. That's all they're interested in. They're only interested in the EU in continuing their gross raking in of other people's money. The people in the EU are getting paid millions and hundreds of thousands of pounds of taxpayers' money, not having to pay tax on it. I mean, it's just the most disgusting system. Well, they're stealing other people's money and they're making your life even harder, which Silicon Valley and our press are all involved in as well. They're not interested in you as an individual. They don't want to see your rights protected. They're interested in stealing your money and paying themselves very well and their mortgages very well. So what they're now talking about is getting rid of actual cash, so that you can't actually, or you could only have so many assets. So assets up to £8,000. I think they do that in France. They've got weirdos walking around finding out what your assets are from the state. And if you get too much assets, I don't know what they do. They must confiscate it or something in France. That sounds very fascistic. So they can just go around. So they're trying to ban cash in the EU. I mean, you couldn't write it. So that we all have to have electronic cash, and then they're able to, because what they've done with the banking system is through regulation and high entry points for actual financial compliance, and it's limited the amount of people that can maybe set up alternative banks. So they've actually now got it in, so there's only a small number of banks. So it's gone from a capitalist society to a corporatist society where they control the banks and they can switch off the financial tap, so that you are not actually able to have any money. Basically, they could just make you starve on the streets, like I did in Dubai, like the Muslims did when they didn't allow me to work for 2 years in Dubai. So it's it's just an incredible time. They're doing horrendous things. You need to wake up. You need to get active. They've just passed Article 13, unrepealed, and all these people, members of the parliament didn't even read it. The actual people who are elected, and they just voting things, they don't read it anymore. They just rubber stamp it. It gets sent down from the commission, who are not elected, not responsible. They don't have any sort of requirements to actually stop or prevent anything that's it prevents freedom. All they do is get paid big salaries. They get told what to put in the bills. There's no accountability to the individuals by the commission. The parliament who's elected just rubber stamps it. They didn't even pass any of the amendments to this bill. And basically now they're going to actually have a right to screw up the internet, that people are going to have fair usage. Well, I don't use any other else's content because I already pretty much know what's happening. But it's another reason for not to stay part of the disgusting shabacle of the EU. It is absolutely disgusting. So we have got a really bad time. So what they're trying to do through the social media, LinkedIn, some LinkedIn profiles like Alex Jones have been deleted. So another Conservative who's not allowed to be on LinkedIn. So I don't think LinkedIn should be allowed in the UK. So maybe we should just start trying to ban them. I know Twitter should be banned. There must be rules under hate speech and racial incitement to violence that Twitter are breaking by allowing people who call for the genocide against other white people. That's not acceptable. So he must be breaking the law. So he must be a criminal to actually be allowing that on his platform. He is a criminal to actually, and it's not just somebody saying something racist. It's an incitement to violence. It's incitement to genocide, which is even worse, that Jack Dorsey is allowing on his network. So again, they're doing a very clever job of silencing other people. They've silenced Alex Jones. So what we really need to do is set up alternative libertarian or open platforms to LinkedIn, to Facebook, to even YouTube as well. I mean, YouTube's part of this cabal as well. So delete your Twitter accounts, guys. That's what I'm saying. Just delete it. I've deleted mine today. I do what I say, and I've deleted mine. I'm not going to use that platform or have anything to do with it. All my LinkedIn profiles have gone thanks to the scumbags at LinkedIn, which I'll never use again as well. Obviously, having spent years trying to develop LinkedIn, my LinkedIn profiles, for them to, they've actually interfered with they've actually interfered with my email. Um, Thanks, Daniel. Good lad. Go to the mines. I am. I've deleted all my LinkedIn profiles. I'll never use that company again. I mean, obviously, I had correspondence. I was speaking to people for business purposes on LinkedIn, and had different businesses. So I had separate LinkedIn profiles for the different types of businesses that I was involved in. And I was speaking to people who were generating business, and they've just come along and deleted it. Can you imagine the phone company without just said, right, okay, we're not allowing you on the phone. You're not allowed to have a phone line, or you're not allowed to have mail. That's what they've basically done. There's been no protection for me as an individual, and they have just rode roughshod over any rights that I would have had using their platform. And they've got these page after page of contracts where you just put an X, which is not signing anything, and you don't have any ability to interact. You're just told that this is a contract, and if you're going to do that, then you don't have any rights as an individual to what is actually happening. Now, they've basically stolen my contacts, because I uploaded my contacts thinking that this was a good and fair platform. How wrong was I? So they've basically stolen all my data, and I wasn't even able to correspond with people. They just closed down the platform there and then. So, I mean, a bunch of scumbags at LinkedIn. Don't use them, guys. I will hopefully get another platform that's actually not going to do that and actually has a bit of integrity, because obviously LinkedIn are not that. And I think we should, the state in the UK should stop paying for LinkedIn adverts as well. Facebook, so I'm continually now getting banned on Facebook. 30-day bans, 30-day bans, back-to-back bans. They just ban you now for nothing. If they were to actually prove what they were actually banging for, you wouldn't believe it, because it would be nothing. It'd be absolutely nothing. They keep going on about their community bullshit guidelines. So that's another one. So it's all linked. I mean, the conspiracy was completely shown when they actually all got rid of Alex Jones. So maybe we should just stop allowing them to actually work in the UK. I think China's got firewalls where the companies are actually banned, and we'll just actually set up an alternative that doesn't ban people based on what they believe or their political, if the political opinions are different from the actual people. And maybe we should actually have some sort of legislation, or we could have some sort of legislation where people, the actual companies, have got to correspond with a certain code of conduct, and they have to be subjected to British rules and regulations if they're going to do business in the UK. They don't have a right to do business in the UK. The right is given to them by the people who live here. It's not they do not have a right. But again, these guys are globalists, and these guys are part of Soros's global cabal. Probably Soros is backing them as well. I'm sure, I wouldn't be surprised Soros's money was in it, and that he was influencing who was on these platforms as well. But they're just scumbags. I mean, can you imagine wasting years and years in developing LinkedIn profiles and then only to get them cut without a buyer leave? Just disgusting. I mean, the whole everything that is going on with the globalists is just disgusting. People are getting bought off by the state. So money that's stolen through taxation, people are getting paid good money to basically politically prostitute themselves. And I mean, Jack Dorsey's just a scumbag. Banned 3 times from Facebook, moved to Minds. Oh, Minds is the other one, and but never looked back. Right. So Minds is obviously the other place that people are going to. But I think we need other. I think we need other developments as well. I think there's other things that we could actually develop and hopefully have it so that we are not actually going to be beholden to these assholes in Silicon Valley. I mean, I think they must just be a bunch of wankers, honestly. California is just full of pricks, is it? So, I mean, Jack Dorsey's just a wee scumbag anyway. What a wee wank. I saw him in the hearings, and what a wee wanker he looks like. Honestly, he must be loaded as well to be just a wee geeky twat. So, fuck him. That's mine deleted as well. Let's see if Twitter goes bankrupt. Wouldn't that be funny? Ha ha ha. Bankrupt Twitter. No users. Jack Dorsey talking to himself with all the guys that are wanting, all the fascist communists who are all wanting white genocide, the scumbags. So that's it. I just had to get that off my chest. Great work from Carol Benjamin and Marcus Meacham talking to the guys in UKIP in the Strasbourg. Just shows you what a great thing we did to actually get ourselves out the European Union. The EU, which was most important, the undemocratic, disgusting debacle that is the EU, 28 unelected commissioners dictating our policy and our laws and legislation. Get fucked. And that goes for to Nicola Sturgeon as well. We do not want back in. And then the democratically elected Parliament doesn't even draw up the legislation. It's drawn up by the 28 unelected commissioners who dictate the legislation, put it through the Parliament. The Parliament can maybe even alter it, but this Article 13, I think it was Article 3 or Article 13, that they just passed today, that will now fuck up the internet because you won't be able to have fair usage. We've not had any say in this, and unfortunately, because the vast majority of people are a bit naive and they don't really understand the way that politics actually works, that they can get away with doing this. They're voting for these scumbags. Vote UKIP. That's what to do. Vote UKIP. That's what I'll be doing. That's what hopefully I'll be in the UKIP once I finish with the Conservatives. Once Jacobs gets in, I'll be joining UKIP. Great bunch of guys that are now in UKIP. It's going to go from strength to strength. Get rid of the fascist, disgusting communist scumbags. There's Avi in Australia, and they're shouting fascist at them. They're the fascists. The ones that are shouting fascist are the fascists, trying to shut down other people's opinions, and that is the start of fascism, start of totalitarianism. The anti-fascists are the fascists. So we're already seeing that people are getting shut down, and YouTube is disgusting. They're also fascists, well, those wankers in Silicon Valley. And then we've got the EU shutting down freedom of speech through regulation. You better open your eyes, boys and girls, because it's coming to you. You've got some right scumbags in power, and you better wake up. And there's the Swedish elections as well. Looks like there was some dubious things that were happening. There was reporters and independent analysis by onlookers, people who overview how the actual process of the election works. And they were saying that it wasn't a fair election. They had just gone to Ukraine and they said that the Ukrainian election was a fairer election. So obviously there's some very dodgy things going on with the globalist scumbags up in Sweden as well. So they're obviously trying to tweak it, and it'll be interesting to see if the Swedish Democrats, who are now holding the balance of power, got involved with the other globalist centre-right Christian Democrat-esque. They're just as bad as well, but Christian Democrat-esque people in there. Really bad stuff happening, guys. It's really, you need to open your eyes, get involved, get politically involved, and let's fight back. These fascists cannot actually take over, and we need to actually get back and get some freedom. Ballot rigging is easy in Sweden. There is no secret ballot in the country. That's right. And all the ballots, you actually go in, and each party has their own basically coloured ballot paper. Why is it not all in one paper and you just go into a booth and tick whatever party across whatever party you actually want to actually vote for? It's an absolute farce. I mean, it's the most badly designed democratic system I've ever seen. All the alternative for Sweden ballot papers were scattered halfway up the polling booth. or outside on the road. And it's just a joke of a system. It's obviously there to be corrupted. Obviously, the loony left, the Greens, those scumbags, are have influenced this. I believe there was intimidation. Muslims actually going to the Swedish Democrats were going to behead you if you actually go and vote for the Swedish Democrats. That guy should have been right in jail. That guy should be arrested and right to jail. But obviously, there's and it's happening here as well. There's political interference with the police, and the police are not doing the job properly. Political interference with the police because of the globalist cabal. George Soros has got a lot to answer for. What a scumbag. So, deleting my Twitter accounts, no more YouTube. So what they're trying to do is silence. They're trying to silence any conservatives. Well, I'm a libertarian, so I'm a small L libertarian liberalist. I'm a centrist libertarian liberalist. So I don't actually fall even into the conservative bracket. But I do believe in freedom of speech. So the guys at Silicon Valley are trying to silence the people in the EU, are trying to silence you. And these people are working together for the globalist agenda, the one world government. You actually saw the world in the Tower of Babel, which is the EU Commission. And the moves for George Soros and the rest of the scumbags to actually have a one world government, a one world currency, and they'll be able to turn off the tap, which Alex Jones actually commented on years ago. But until you've actually got somebody in the European Parliament who's actually telling you, he's on the tax committee, who was one of the UKIP guys, who are telling you that they're trying to get rid of actual cash so that they can make you poorer. You don't actually understand that this is actually true. Everything that Alex Jones had actually said was actually true, and a lot of stuff he came out with has been absolutely spot on. It sounds like bullshit when you listen to it, and then you're like that, no way are they actually doing that, and they are actually doing that. The underlying, the dark state, the globalists, the underlying evildoers who want the one world fascist government are actually doing things behind the scenes and manipulating the discussions. Same way they're doing it on the internet. Same way they're doing it through the European Union, and that is a globalist institution. Alex Jones talked about that, the moves towards 5 separate EU-esque, the African National, the African, what's it called? The African Congress. I don't know. I can't remember the word for it, but it's the EU. The EU, the African equivalent, the Asian equivalent, the North American, South American equivalent, and then into one world government. Jones is a canary in a coal mine now. They've got rid of him. They'll come for everyone. That's right. That's exactly right. Well, they've already come for me. But I deleted my Twitter account because Jack Dorsey is a scumbag. I won't be using anything to do with Jack Dorsey ever again. LinkedIn, all my profiles are going LinkedIn. Continually banned in Facebook. That's going to become the next Bebo. NAFTA, yeah, that's it. NAFTA, yeah, that's it. Move toward NAFTA. And that's it. Alex Jones has got his finger on the pulse. Alex Jones has got the finger on the pulse, guys. He knows exactly what's going on, and they don't like it. So we have to set up our own things. I might actually start doing crowdfunding. We'll get our own networks on and our own sites up, and then we'll just fuck them right off. Silicon Valley can then become a dinosaur if they're prepared to do that and prepared to put up the disgusting things, Hamas and white genocide supporters, and Jack Dorsey can go and fuck himself. And just ban them in the UK. That's it. They don't have a right. They have. They are given a privilege to actually earn money in the UK. We can just ban you the same way China banned you. We could just ban you as well. So I'd be very careful what you're doing, because I'm sure it'll be a big chunk out your bottom line for your shareholders if you were banned in the UK. Can you imagine that? Imagine what would happen to your share price on those grounds. And I think Zuckerberg, I don't know if the true, I remember seeing Social Media, the film, and listening to the account of Zuckerberg allegedly stealing the idea from the two other gentlemen, two rowers. And I can't believe that's just theft. If he was employed to actually do the thing, the actual social media platform for those two boys, then and he's actually stolen the idea, that's the same as coming in and stealing a car or stealing a telly or whatever. That's intellectual theft, and he should have been held banged to rights for that. He should have had to hand over the actual work for Facebook to those two boys. And that's what should have happened. They shouldn't have just been able to pay them off. That, to me, if that was proven, that he would have to justify where he got the idea for Facebook, and then actually, if he couldn't actually prove that he came up with the idea for Facebook, and he actually stole the idea from those two boys, the two rowers, then he should have to hand over the company and hand over all the documentation. As far as I'm aware, he's a thief, and that's just intellectual theft. I should have never joined Facebook. That was a bad mistake by that. I think I'll be off as soon as I can get somewhere else. So mine's is obviously the name of the other social network. So I'll be looking. I'll be actively looking. I'll be also trying to look behind who's actually in charge of it, whether or not that guy's got decent views. I'm a libertarian, so I believe in everybody should be able to express themselves on my platform, or if I get the platform. So we'll soon find out how it's doing. So I think that's me done with the twats at Silicon Valley. They can all go and fuck themselves. And also, we're so glad we're out of the EU, not having to pay it. This Monday coming, I said I was going to do it last week, but I'm going to do it this Monday coming and join the Conservative Party. I think Jacob getting harassed by some twat lefty today. A woman going down a street in the UK with a big machete, shouting Allah Akbar. Obviously mentally ill, nothing to do with the fact it says in the Quran to kill and rape non-Muslims, and which is actually happening just now as well. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. Disgusting stuff, guys, disgusting. So, I'm out. Fuck Silicon Valley, fuck Jack Dorsey. We'll try and get some other site and let him go bankrupt. That's it. If they start just pulling off the sites, the people make up these things. Mine's is decentralized and encrypted, so no centralized authority and cannot be censored, or doesn't have censorship. So that's obviously a great thing for libertarians and other people like that, if that's the case as well. So. I think that's obviously what we're going to be looking at, guys. We're going to be looking at doing something else. Sick of these scumbags, honestly, trying to control your life. Fuck off. Anyway, we're going to be going ahead with the politicians soon enough, and we won't be giving the internationalist, globalist cabals the support that they deserve. We will fuck with them as much as they want to fuck with us. So. That's it. I had to get that off my chest. So Article 13 is passed. Delete your Twitter accounts, guys. Don't give them any ability to actually control you. Complain to your MEP the fact that they passed this absolutely disgusting bill, and start voting for UKIP again. I think the people that thought that UKIP was going to be that was it. The job was done. I don't think UKIP will ever go away now. I think UKIP is here to stay. I think the fact that we have to now leave the political class. I mean, look how disgusting Labour's got. I mean, it's just, vile party. They're all calling Chucky, calling Jeremy Corbyn institutionally racist, which is probably true. There'll be a protest outside the Labour conference, and people will be calling the people going into it Nazis. Look at the Nazis. That's what they'll be saying, because of what's actually happening, the anti-Semitism that is happening in the Labour Party. Oh, it's disgusting, really bad. And I think they're trying to. They had the slogan for the many, not the few, but they get changed to for the Muslims, not the Jews, and it's that's what's happening there as well. It's disgusting, guys. And we know how anti-Semitic the Quran is. I mean, talking about killing Jews all the time. I mean, no wonder one country, or a Jewish country, is surrounded by all these Muslim countries that want to kill them. I mean, I'd be on my guard as well. Except we're inviting them in, and what's happening now is that our shit government is allowing Muslims to chase people up and down the street with machetes, and not even reporting in the BBC now because I mean, we'll probably be banned from actually talking about it very soon. But we'll all be saying fuck you and getting the Kalashnikovs out. So it's going to be a very interesting time just now how the government wants to play it, because when you suppress the people too much, it's like a bottle of champagne. The pop comes out, and then you're offski, regardless of whether you've been democratically elected or not. So it's not good. None of it's good. That's me after spending 2 years in Dubai, being allowed to starve on the streets in a Muslim country. The British government did nothing, while the British government was handing out £1 million to a jihadi who was in Guantanamo Bay, where he should have been because he was a jihadi. The British state gave them £1 million, and then he pissed off to Syria and blew himself up. But my government, the government that we've actually financed for generations, so that they can stay in big houses as well, so they get their mortgages paid for, couldn't even be bothered actually allowing me to feed myself or sustain myself. They just went, fuck you, Mr. Ballantyne. The Muslims can do what the fuck they want with you. Yeah, well, that's it. That's the protests are coming outside the UAE embassy. It's not just me that's been affected. David Hay, the guy from Leeds United, a guy who was the chairman of Leeds United, was raped in a UAE state jail. And that was allowed to happen by our scumbag political class and the scum at the Foreign Office as well. Just a bunch of wankers. They're getting overpaid as well. Oh, I'm raging, guys. I'm absolutely raging. The last number of years, to tell you all my stories and see what a bunch of scumbags we have in power. They're only interested in lining their own pockets. That's it. They all need the chop. That's what we need, a clean out of our political class and getting better people in. We haven't got good people in. They've been in too long, and they're getting lazy and intellectually lazy. They don't have any ideas. The ideas are just how much money can we steal through taxations? We can't grow the economy. We don't want women to have more children. For some strange reason, our birth rate's going down. We'll just import tons and tons of people and displace our own population. That's all I've got. That's what the globalist mentality is. And they're just not up to the job. I've had enough. I need to get that off my chest. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys.